ink pen. So I think I'll show you how to do some micro ink pen, see how this works, if it's any good. It's got a staggered tip, if you can see that, and it's like a felt pen. That's what it feels like. So I'm just gonna go in. Let's see if I can put a smaller mirror in front of me so that I can see a little bit closer, because I'm looking at the camera, but it's so far away. So let's do this. I'm just moving my mirror to the side, and that way I can look at you and look back. Okay, so I'm just going to use the natural shape of my brow to do this. And I don't want heavy dark brows. I already have black brows naturally, but I do want a strong brow and I want a fuller brow. I like the framing. You don't have to, you can do a lighter one, but this is just an example how to use this new micro ink pen. And it's to create the illusion of having your eyebrows microbladed, I guess. I guess that's the idea behind it. So I like to create a line at the bottom as a guideline for myself, and I'm just doing short strokes so it's not too dark and it's not too deep, and I'm filling in gaps that I have. And that can happen from aging, it can happen from rubbing your eyes. I mean, it's just part of life. So I'm following the natural direction of my brows. I do like to comb my brows, and I'm just gonna comb up. But wherever there's a gap, I'm doing short little strokes, and you can see how I'm filling in the brow compared to the other one. And just tiny light strokes. You don't have to go heavy, because from a distance, as you can see, it's quite full. And so I'm just going to go in wherever I see a gap. I've done my bottom line, and I like to make this part a little straighter. The ends are always tricky because I like a pointed end, which is unusual, but at the same time I don't want it super drawn, at least not for today. For other looks I may like that. But I'm going to go in once again and just stroke it. I'm not going to go longer than I normally go. I am going to kind of make this line here. And that might change. We'll see how the eye makeup goes and what I feel like doing, but once again I'm going in here, doing a little on the top, and then I'm going to do just some fine strokes. I have a bit of a gap here, so I like a kind of more of a fitted brow, or I don't know what the word is, matching brow. Oops, I went in the opposite direction. So I'm going to I accidentally just stroked in the opposite direction, so I'm going to brush up to kind of help blend it in. I still have a little patch there, and that could be just the way my eyebrows are. I went a little heavy there. So with this pen, you're gonna have to be careful. It's a little bit rich, but it's pretty cool. As you can see, I'm getting very natural strokes. I'm very lightly doing it. So if you want a little heavier in the center, for example, you can go in a little darker. There you go. It's really easy to do. Just tiny little strokes instead of going and getting microbladed. Okay. Hang on one sec, I gotta pause. Nice. Okay, I'm back. All right, so wherever I had a patch, instead of going up, I went like this, almost like you're cross-hatching. If you know how to draw, it's basically what you're doing. You're drawing and painting. So when I had this little patch, I went down, and it covered it instead of fighting to go up and it wasn't covering it. So follow your natural hairs. There we go. And as you can see, I filled it in. And for me, that's a nice natural, because once I put my eye makeup, it's going to blend in. For somebody who's fair or blonde, or maybe doesn't wear eye makeup, if you do an eyelash or just a lip, this would look really neat. And it's still looking natural. But now you can see I've created a shape. So I'm going to do the other eyebrow. And that's always a challenge, because one side is always perfect and one isn't. Okay, so I'm going to go in again. And also, I wear glasses, so I need them for being up close, so it's interesting that I'm not using them, but if you do wear glasses, you could wear them lower down and kind of check them and go up. And there's a lot of women who have glasses who don't want to wear makeup because of this. It's challenging, you know, but you can do it. So you could do it like this. Make your bottom line, do your strokes as a base, as a guideline, and I'm just matching it to the other one. And I have one eyebrow higher than the other, so they're never going to be perfect for me, but I'm okay with that because I'm basically making them work for the shape of my face and the imperfections that I have and using it to my advantage. So you want to go under, and then I'm just going to blend in and do a few up so it doesn't look like a hard line. And you can see I have this has been drawn down, so I'm going to match it. I mean, you can leave that to the end and just draw a few longer hairs so it blends in. It used to be quite long, and I used to have to trim them, but now they're kind of, as you get older, they just kind of fade away, or they get sparser. And I think that's why microneedling or microblading is so popular. And for some people, it's great. For other people on a budget, it might not be. I probably will try it sometime, but I do love to change around the look of my brows, my eyelashes, so I haven't done a lot of that extra stuff, but perhaps just as an experiment, I will. But they're pricey too, so. Okay, so we're gonna go in there, do the top. And I haven't cleaned up the edges around my brow yet. I just started using these little razors, and the trick is your face has to be just freshly washed, because I find if you do it on a dry face, you're going to nick yourself easily. And then you also want to just go down, and they work quite well to shape your brows, as well as if you want to shave extra hair off the face. One of the things I noticed in a lot of my sessions, women will be blonde, and they'll have tons of face hair, and it shows up in a close-up photo, and I have to try and edit it out because certain lighting will bring it out, and it's better when people just kind of shave it off, but a lot of women don't know how to do that. So anyway, or don't realize it because they think their hair is so fair. With someone like me who has dark hair or black hair, it stands out, so I'm used to removing hair, or it's not unusual, you know, waxing or threading. I've given up on threading and waxing. The waxing irritates my skin. The threading, I can never find anyone who doesn't either make my eyebrows completely tiny or it's just a pain to go to the salon. So this is kind of another way to do things at home, and considering the situation, you may have to. So these little face shavers, you can get them on Amazon, you can get them at the drugstore, you can get them at Fred Meyer, a pack of 3 for like $5. Sally's is like, I think 1 for $5, I don't know. But you can get them pretty cheap and just play with them. And the trick is to be gentle. Even with this, the trick is to be gentle. So I'll go in. And I can see my hairs naturally go down this way, so I'm not going to fight it. I'm just going to do a couple strokes just so I can build up this line on the edge. I'm going to go a little wider. Okay, and I'm going to go fill in anything I see with that, trying to avoid creating a hard line. And if you create a hard line, just go in there and blend it out. You can also use the end of like an eyebrow pencil, a little hairbrush to kind of blend it if you're worried about too many strokes. And I'm just following the natural hairline. And I'm just going to do that. This eyebrow on the side is a little bit less, has a little bit less hair. Alright, I think if you can see that. It's a little wider, so I'm going to go and match it. And I'm not worrying about using the jagged edge for myself. I just want to use that tip to kind of add in tiny little strokes. So you could use this, a brow gel and a powder, or you could use this with a little powder if you're feeling like this is too strong, but I like the strokes it's making. It looks natural. I think the trick is just to be super gentle. And it depends what kind of eyebrow look you want. I don't want them too overdrawn right now, but it's easy to do that with this. So if you want to go in and use a little powder, and just maybe do a couple strokes. I love these pencils, and I find no matter what, they look natural. But even with this, it can be a little heavy, so I'm out of that. So as you can see, they look pretty good. And if you want them to make them really pop, I use this NYX eyeshadow base, and it has a blue tone to it. So for my skin tone, it really brightens around my eye. And it's known for having a blue tone to kind of brighten. I don't know if that makes sense. But anyway, I do use a matte concealer, but this one's closer to my skin color, and it's to cover when I have discoloration or breakouts. And I use that around the chin and underneath the eye a lot. This will kind of pop and brighten. It's might be a shade lighter, very close. So I'm going to take my concealer brush, and I'm going to blend out the foundation. No hard lines, but I'm going to just kind of, as you can see, cut it to clean up. And this helps hide little hairs if you're between your eyebrow cleanup and underneath. I'm going to add a little. And this helps also if you're in between doing your eyebrows. But this also just cleans it up and makes it pop. Super easy to do. We'll do the other one. So you're basically just doing a top line. Whoops. A little high. The opposite hand's always a little awkward. And once again, if you wear glasses, you can go in and just double check it. And one is a little bit thicker on the ends than another, so I'm going to go in and just add a couple strokes. And you know what? You don't have to make them exact because eyebrows aren't exact. So as long as it suits the shape of your face and how it moves, you can do whatever you want. Okay, and I've just made that one a little thicker in there. But they're coming down nicely, which I like. This one's still actually a little short. Need to grow this eyebrow in. It's different. I usually don't go in that. Yeah, it looks good. And it's very close. It looks almost like a unibrow, but it looks kind of cool. So I'm going to leave it today just for fun. Something different. Very thick eyebrows today. I can't resist. I have to play. Alright, so that is the micro ink pen in dark brunette. And so I have black hair, but I use a dark brown and you can't even tell. So, put that away. And then we did the NYX little concealer around them. We're going to do a simple eye today because we're at home and we want to have a little glam, but we don't want to overdo it today. We're not feeling it. So if you want to do a kind of a natural look, I say that and then I get carried away and do all this eye stuff. Okay, this is ready to go, so I'm going to do that before I burn something plastic. And I'm going to separate the bangs. I like to have my bangs done while I'm doing my makeup. Kind of frames the face and sets the mood for me. And I like to split them in two. I find that you get a nice clean straight bang when you divide it up. Okay, you may or may not be seeing all the gray hair. I don't know, I don't care. That's life. Okay. I'm just gonna clean those out and just kind of keep some framing, some structure while we're... This also doesn't get super hot, so you can leave it out as long as you don't have anything plastic. It seems to be good. What else are we gonna do? All right. So I love mixing up products. So sometimes I do shadow, sometimes I do airbrush. Lately I've been doing shadow because I've been really loving like these kind of cool tones and matte from purple to browns. So, and it's been kind of fun playing with them again and just creating different colors and looks. I love the airbrush and you can get a very smooth shaded look, but with the powders you can layer a lot more. I can layer with certain products, certain airbrush products, but sometimes it can turn into a hot mess if you don't have it planned. I don't know. So I think we're going to go rosy. We're going to go into like these kind of berry colors to symbolize seeing the world through rose-colored glasses. I don't know. Anyway, to keep it kind of pretty and maybe burgundy. So that's got a shimmer in it. I don't want to start with the shimmer. Let's see. Let's start with a warm brown. I think that's Fallen Brown by MAC. And I'm just going to do it in my crease. So like I said, for some people this is not natural. For other people this is like simple. I seem to do a lot of in-between where it's not super dark but not super glam. As glam as you can get on social media. So I put the darker one through the crease and it's kind of got a warm tone to this brown, so it works. Normally I keep it all at the end. I'm just blending that out. You can see with the brow how it really helps make it pop. So I'm not going high into the brow, I'm just going through the crease. I'm going through, right, taking it to the corner just for something different. And then I'm going to take this warm berry color and I'm going to pop it closer to the ends. Yes, I use the same brush. I'm going to tap that in just on the ends. So it's kind of like a little warmer and burgundy and sparkly at the ends. And through the crease it's like a darker but warm brown. And I can just blur that a little bit. I like blurred out makeup looks. Find them easy to wear for every day. And I think they look really neat. They got a modern look to it. So these two colors kind of blend into each other really well. So I'm just blending the ends. And I'm keeping kind of the centers and the corners a little bit lighter. Yeah, so you can see it's got like a burgundy look in here. Just going to tap in there a little bit more, make it a little bit heavier, a little bit more even. I'm just blending it down into my bottom without overthinking it. So I like to create layers and shades. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just trying to get rid of those, any kind of fine edge. I want it to be more soft and romantic looking. Just a very blurred out, but a height natural. So that looks kind of neat. So now I'm going to take my smaller brush. I love this brush. I like to go underneath the eye, and I don't want it to be dark. So I could go with the burgundy underneath the eye. So we'll do that on the ends. You can't really see the shimmer in this, but it adds a little. And I'm not trying to make the whole eye super dark. What I'm trying to do is just give it some shadowing, bring it out. Now I put that berry color on the ends, but I want a brighter color, so I'm taking this really hot pink. I want to go in here, maybe more in the middle. So I was going to do a simple eye makeup, and here I am with hot pink. Okay. I told you I just start playing. Okay. So I'm liking it. So I could just pop on some lashes and go, and this would work for me. And you could also do a heavy black liner and do it more glam. But I think what I'm going to do, let's see what I've got. I'm going to take this lip liner, if I can find it, and I'm going to keep going with this kind of burgundy berry look. Where is it? And on the top, if I can find it, oh my gosh, I guess I've got, okay, here it is. So it's a MAC liner. It's called Night Moth. And so I'm going to do almost like a burgundy liner on top instead of doing a heavy black. So I've got these kind of dreamy burgundy warm brown eyes. And I'm just going to do it on, start at the end and do tiny strokes. So they don't have to be perfect because I'm going to smudge this out. I'm just going to go right into there. I don't want it to be too heavy. And I'm just, like you can see, I'm doing it kind of messy. But I'm keeping it close to the lash line. And I'll just kind of... The reason why is I'm going to go back to this brush and I'm going to smudge it out. So I don't want a perfect eye in regards to struggling to do thin lines. What I'm trying to do is do a softer blurred out eye that you could do anytime, anywhere. You could take it even more glam. This is, I would say, a medium look for the average person, or you could go lighter. For me, this is a lighter look. I'm going to take this blush and just smudge it out. So I'm blending it close to the lash line, but I'm pulling it out. And I want this soft kind of look without covering my whole eye. So I'm still creating shades and tones and layers, but I'm doing it with berry colors, warm colors, and I'm doing it in a way that can still be a day look. Okay. And this isn't for everyone, but hopefully it'll give you some ideas to do something for you, or even a technique you like. So, and I mean, that liner went far. It really, you could cover the whole lid actually. and really smudge it out. I'm just going to fan it out. And so we've got these beautiful berry colors. So I'm taking it a little higher. I guess I am going to cover it all up. Left it a little lighter in there. Oh yeah, I like that. It's kind of like burgundy berries. And then for fun, I'll go back and take this lighter pink, this light shimmery one, and just do it in my corners. Same brush. I just wipe it off. I have a towel on my lap, a black one, and I just kind of... I don't have much luck when I try to put stuff in my corners. I don't feel like it doesn't show, so I'm going to pull it out a little bit and do that. Just for some fun. Once I start playing, I can't help but add. So these are just like little extras if you had the time. Or maybe you just want to do it and be glammed all day. I don't know. There we go. So I always put extra when I try to do the corners. I feel like they don't show up on me. But anyway, that is my eye look. And I still feel like we need to brighten. And I gotta do the I've got to do the blush. So here's my blush. I'm gonna do a softer pink because I've already gone a little bit burgundy on the eyes. Hang on, I don't know what color it is. It's by MAC. Got these a long time ago, and I stopped using them when I went into airbrush. And lately, I've been inspired to mix my products. Probably because of some of the airbrush companies. Some of them are amazing, and some of them are just a-holes. So I just was like, I don't want to be a slave to anybody's product or what they do. I want to be able to create what I want and do it in ways that are effective, economical, and I could share with you tips as well as product that you can do. A lot of people are overwhelmed by the airbrush because it's mechanical as well. You do have to clean it. And a lot of people don't have time for that. So it depends where you're at. You know, I recommend it. I love it for skin. I think it's flawless. It is the best foundation I've ever had. Okay, so as you can see, the pink added, and it's just bringing together the face and the shadowing, and I could contour more if I wanted to, but then I'm going, as I said, getting heavier into a look, and I was trying to keep this simple. So I could just take like this lighter brown and just do it on underneath and blend up as if you're doing a bronzer, and then kind of do that ever so lightly. So we don't lose the pink, but we get a little shadowing. I feel like we're getting dirty in here, so I'm going to take this other brush. I don't like to do heavy contouring. I don't think it's practical. It works great on some people's faces, and if you're doing theatrical, it's amazing. But I think for every day and just kind of a medium to a glam look, you don't have to. I'm not saying it's not bad. Like, that's the whole thing. What I try to embrace is embracing all different looks and doing what works for you. And if that works for you, great. Sometimes I want to go a bit heavier or lighter, but I don't feel, you know, for me it's necessary, or this video. So I'm going to do a lighter powder. My mom got me this from some kind of drugstore pack I carried in my purse. I bought these little puffs to put in it for a touch-up. And I like to go underneath the eye, and I use a little bit of a wider brush. And I go underneath the eye to smooth out and just kind of pop. So I guess it's a mild version of what they call, or they name baking. But I've never done heavy baking. I love how it looks in videos when YouTubers do it, but it's not something I'm going to do right now. It's kind of neat. I'll go in here. So I go my areas that are darkest, around my mouth and breakouts around my chin, underneath my eye definitely, and I blend that out. And I'll maybe go in here, but I have bangs so you can't see a lot, so if I didn't have bangs I'd go through here. Just the center, give it a pop. And I don't like to over powder because I don't like the look of cakiness, and to me it starts to look cakey. I just like to tap. And I love highlighter, but I haven't been putting it on lately. I've been really liking these matte, kind of dreamy looks for my office day look. And for at home, I don't know, I don't like to do a ton of highlighter. I think it looks cool, especially if you're doing a bronze gold look. So like I said, it's all about finding what look it's for and how it works. I'm not against any kind of makeup thing or technique. I hate it when I hear makeup artists being snotty about what looks good and what doesn't. I don't think makeup's about that. I think it's all about finding what works for you or what moment or event you're doing it for. So And because I'm a photographer, I love to be camera ready. So I love playing with makeup to see. So I do it on clients. So that's one reason I do wear it every day. And I find it fun. As you can see, I just start playing and playing. So I always encourage people to find what is fun for you in your life and just play. And then, oh, see, it's a beautiful berry we got going on here. So I'm going to go like this. Pop on these lashes. And these are Kiss Wispy Lashes. I love these. See how the eyes really come out? We've defined it. And for some people, this is heavy. For other people, this would be normal. But this is not a hard look to do, and it's easy. And this beautiful kind of pop of burgundy over top of the eye, really bringing light into it. And I feel like, well, as an artist, like light, lines, shadow, that's what you're playing with constantly when you're doing makeup and photography and drawing and jewelry and everything I've done. Okay, this one's a little crooked. It's because the lash is a little crooked. I've worn these a couple times, and I like to reuse my strips, but I clean them, I pull the glue off, and sometimes that can warp them a little. So I'm just going to go in there and work with it. I like to get it to the lash line as close as I can. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but when you do this blurred out kind of eyeliner look, it's super easy to put lashes on. You don't have to think about it because you're not trying to cover anything. If I wasn't doing that today and just doing well, got a little glue there, then I would, be more worried about if it's exactly on the lash line. And then I'm going to go in. I feel I got a little glue on the bottom, but I'll let that dry and then I'll pull it off. I started using one of my favorite mascaras, Maybelline Great Lash in black. It has a very tiny brush. And I decided to switch back to this because I felt like the L'Oreal was flaking. And I don't know if it was just, I was having such a hard time cleaning my eye makeup off. And I've always had such good luck with the Maybelline, as well as when I wear this on my natural lashes, they look really natural and they don't clump up. They're very separated. So I used to get tons of compliments. And I've been wearing strip lashes now for about 2 years, almost every day. I've just really liked the look of it. But I might do a look with just regular eyelashes to show you how that looks. And that's the thing, I want to do eyelash extensions, but I really love playing with different looks. Like I love taking eyelashes off, having natural lashes that are tiny, and then doing a deep lip. So there's all these fun things you can do. So I feel like I always want to encourage people to not feel like they have to do these expensive makeup treatments, but at the same time, you may need it or you may really like it, so I'm not against it. I mean, I definitely want to try the eyelashes and the micropigmentation someday, or is it micropigmentation? Microblading one day, just to say I did it, see if I like it. Maybe it is better, and it can't be anything but more convenient to wake up with perfect eyelashes and brows, so, but for other people who are on a budget and maybe during these hard times, you could do this yourself. And so with the eyelashes, I always start from the middle. I put a little bit of glue. I always use the Duo glue. I find this is the best glue. And it takes 60 seconds to get tacky, so you don't have to rush. I find I've used other glues. I've used the Duo clear in the little tube with the brush, and it's so sticky and it doesn't dry. Really weird. So I have it for crystals. I didn't throw it out, but I definitely don't use it for eyelashes anymore because my eyes would be sticky and tacky all day. All right, and I'm just going underneath to push up my real lashes to the fake ones, just to seal them so they don't look split. And it's a habit I got from when I shoot people and do their eyelashes. If you don't seal your real to your fake, they're split in the camera and it shows. So this is a little detail I like to do. And I just stroke up and push, and if the eyelash goes high up, I just push it down gently. I do not stroke my top lashes. I just want to open up the eye and be very gentle with it. And I'll let you know if this flakes. I don't remember doing it in the past. I feel like my L'Oreal was flaking a lot. I don't know why. I wasn't using the primer though. I was just putting the mascara on, so that could be. So when I was cleaning my eyes, that's where I really felt it. So this looks really pretty today. All right, I'm loving it. I hope you guys love this look too. Of course, I've got to go in and piddle a little bit more. It's not super heavy like if it was for camera, so, but it's just enough. I'm gonna go back to this little burgundy shimmer and just join wherever I see any gaps. And then I see a gap right here and it's driving me nuts. So I think what I might do is go in with this brush and then grab some of that, what color? The warm brown that I had been using. Gosh, I think it was this one. Doesn't matter if you forget because they're all kind of, I'll put this warm brown on the corners. I just want to fill in what I see is a little possible gap. I've almost got this purpley look going on with all the colors blending. And tap that in, pull that out. See, I feel like this shows up on one eye, but it doesn't show up on the other eye, and it could be my lighting and just me. But it seems when I look straight ahead, it's fine. And this looks fine. I'm going to go in with that burgundy and go and tap it. And once again, I went deeper and darker than I planned, but I would wear this for every day. I think it works. It's actually super easy and quick because I'm blurring the colors and creating shadows. And then I see a little up here that could be added. I'm just taking the berry color and just blending in with the brown. I've got that nice line. So what will we do for a lip? I think I'll go kind of a berry color. Let's see what I have. You know that I love the Catsuit Wet n Wilds. I find they just, for a retro lipstick, the price is great, $5, and it stays on. And I love mixing the colors, so right now we've got this berry look going on. I had a gorgeous berry. Let's see if I can find it. Probably not. I can't find it, but I had this new kind of Wet n Wild liquid catsuit, and it's not as matte, it's more wet looking, which is kind of neat. I bought it by accident, but it actually... I think it's a little more violet than I wanted to go. I could get away with it, but I feel like it's competing with each other, so I wonder if I can take that down a notch. I've got this mauvey color, so I'm going to put it over top. And this is a great way to play and find new colors. Yeah, so that kind of brought it down. Now that, like I said, the first one I did is more wet looking, so that's kind of nice, and then the second one is more matte. And I'm just gonna like take a little some of this off, just so the lips are more natural than overdone. So now I've got this pretty kind of highlight of violet underneath, underneath this beautiful matte neutral. So it's actually working really well with the burgundy. So once again, so I might put this in the center. Yeah, and you get the nice dark ring of the violet around it. If I have a lip liner, I like to do my lip liner at the end. It's not strange, it is, but except for when I do red lips. I could even go in with this kind of magenta liner, and I'm just gonna lightly, so I'm lightly heightening that violet ring. And these colors are all in the same tone, so it's kind of playing off the burgundy around the eyes. So I've done like what you would call a dark eye, but at the same time it's bright, it's got berries, it's got vibrancy to it. We'll see. We'll see if that lip lasts all day. But anyway, I will move on to hair. Thanks so much. I hope you like this makeup look, and if you want to see the hair look, stay with me. I think I'm going to do a straight look and show you how I straighten.